It's always a lot of pressure for a fighter, you know, whether you're from the Philippines, whether you're American, whether you're Mexican, whether, you know, you always have that pressure of performing, you know, for the people, you know, for the world. One thing about fighters is that, you know, when you step inside the ring, you know, there's no nationality. I mean, it's you belong to the world. You know, you belong to the world, and they expect for you to perform. So Amir Khan has a lot of pressure. Canelo has a lot of pressure, especially from his country. You know, the Mexicans, you know, they want him to perform and look spectacular, and the history of Mexican boxing, you know, is weighing on him. You know, you have the great Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez, you know, and the list goes on and on and on. So, you know, you always want to be, as a young fighter, you always want to be the, you know, better, the best, and so there's a lot of pressure. But at the same time, that's what they fuel off of.
And Oscar, one more question. If Canelo Alvarez in this fight seems to be the bigger guy, and a lot of people, when they found out about this fight, thought that maybe he is a little bit too big, and they feel it's kind of like a mismatch. Do you think this is a mismatch in any way?
No, none whatsoever. I mean, when I actually saw Amir Khan next to Canelo, it validated my point, that this is not a mismatch whatsoever. Amir Khan is bigger than Canelo. When you see him in the press conference, you're gonna see the size difference. Amir Khan's taller, he's thicker. You know, Amir Khan said it best. Look, this is the weight class that I belong in. This is where I feel strong. This is where I feel fast. They're not fighting at 160. They're fighting at 155. So, you know, this is gonna be an advantage for Amir Khan, I believe, because you know, Canelo's a thick guy. He has thick legs, a thick neck, but the fact that he has to stick around at 155, you know, I think it's going to be a big advantage for Amir Khan.
Oscar, what has been the response on the road going from London to New York to here in LA?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been incredible. I mean, the response we had in the UK was amazing, and New York was incredible. Here in LA, I can't wait to start the press conference at 6 p.m. Tonight. You know, and I have to thank Mr. Trump for this. You know, I have to thank Mr. Trump for giving me the idea of putting this fight together. You know, you have the biggest Mexican fighter on the planet today, and one of the most popular Muslim fighters in Amir Khan, who's from the UK. I mean, shit, this is like a dream come true for Mr. Trump.
And it's the biggest fight this year. All boxing fans are tuning in.
It's the biggest fight and of this year, and fight fans will tune in, casual fans will tune in, you know, and the brand new arena, the T-Mobile arena in Las Vegas, Cinco de Mayo weekend. We've already put the order in, you know, bring in extra Tecate beer because the fans are going to be thirsty that weekend.
Oscar, Cinco de Mayo once again belongs to the Golden Boy and Golden Boy Promotions. How does it feel retaking that, giving it back to a Mexican fighter, reclaiming the biggest night of boxing of the year?
Well, if you take a look at it carefully, we've always had that weekend. I promoted, I believe, 10 of Mayweather's fights. So Golden Boy has always had that weekend. You know, I believe it was the last couple of fights that Mayweather went off on his own. I believe it was to promote the Pacquiao fight and the Berto fight. But look, it's been a tradition, starting with Julio Cesar Chavez, and then myself, and then now Canelo. You know, with Mayweather fighting on that weekend. It's a special weekend. I mean, people love going to Vegas. People love watching fights. People love, you know, going out there and gambling and drinking and having a good time, you know, in Las Vegas. So, yeah, was it important for us to I don't want to say reclaim, but, you know, just to stage this event of this magnitude on this weekend was very important.
The UK fans always bring a rowdy crowd with them,
yeah,
wherever they fight. The Mexicans always bring a rowdy crowd with them wherever they fight. Do you see this just being an electric night as you guys open the T-Mobile Center?
No, it's gonna be like no other night in boxing. I remember when I fought at the Staples Center, and we were opening up that arena, me and Mosley. We fought in front of 20,000 people, and the excitement, the anticipation, you know, I mean, just because it was a brand new arena, the fight sold itself. And so with this arena here, right in the heart of Las Vegas, state-of-the-art arena, I mean, people are really excited to see what it's all about. And I can tell you one thing, I mean, it's a beautiful arena. It's made for boxing, made for concerts, but specifically made for sporting events. And we're really proud to have Canelo and Amir Khan be headlining the very first sporting event in the history of this arena.
Of course, fans must be really excited about the fact that for the next fight for Canelo that it's Khan. But was there ever any thought like, hey, maybe we should pump the brakes? Like this is maybe something maybe he should take like a lesser fight or something that's not quite as challenging?
No. I think one thing about Canelo is that he wants to continue fighting the big names, the difficult challenges. I mean, did Canelo have to fight Trout or Lara or Mayweather at a young age? Or he's a stubborn fighter. He wants to take on the best. He wants to have a great resume in his career. And Amir Khan is at the peak of his career. I mean, who fights fighters at the peak of their career? And it's unheard of these days. And so, Canelo Alvarez wants to just go up there against the very best. I mean, people keep asking, Gennady Golovkin. It's gonna happen. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's gonna happen. Just give it a little bit of time, and it's gonna happen. But that's who Canelo is.
But at the same time, you're his promoter. So is it something where you think like where he's like all like I want to take the biggest fights, where sometimes maybe you might think otherwise, or it might be wiser to do something else, or that just didn't factor into this at all?
Well, I made a mistake in letting him take the Mayweather fight when he was 21 or something, and I mean that's not going to happen ever again. Let's put it that way. But Canelo is right now heading into the peak of his career. I mean, maybe he's not even scratching the surface, but he's 25 years old. He's entering his man's strength, and the aspirations that Canelo has is to be great, and to be great you have to face the tough challenges. Whether you win or lose, you have to face the tough challenges.
Oscar, we were very surprised when you announced that Canelo was going to be fighting Khan. I think most fights are usually, there's always a brewing of it, and you kind of expect it, but this one just came out of left field. How did that fight come about?
I'm telling you, I was watching a debate with Donald Trump, and he gave me the idea. I thought to myself, how can I shock the world? How can I create some excitement? How can I have people scratching their head, and thinking, wow, I mean, this fight, okay. And sure enough, we made news around the globe with this event, and people are talking about it. And I mean, you should see the frenzy in Europe. It's incredible. So it's the fact that you have the most popular fighter in Amir Khan and the most popular fighter in Canelo. You have the biggest event on May 7th.
How do you keep it a secret, though, Oscar? In this day and age, nothing's a secret.
I used one of those Donald Trump sayings, if anybody speaks, they're fired.
Amir Khan thinks his fans.
Canelo's the only fighter in the world right now that has fans literally 8 to 88. What's it like to promote the most popular fighter in the world right now?
It's a real true pleasure promoting a professional. He's young, but he gets it. He understands. I mean, I remember I was 25 years old. I mean, I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I mean, I was a professional. I trained hard and everything, but I had a life outside of boxing when I didn't train. It's like I loved going out and with friends. And Canelo's like, he's with his daughter. When he's not training, he's taking care of himself. He's thinking boxing. I mean, this guy's a professional, and it's a real true pleasure.
Is it part of the advice that you gave to him? Like, look, this is the mistakes I made. This will make.
Yeah, no, he knows all that. Yeah, I've discussed that with him, and I mean, you only get one opportunity. I mean, us as fighters, we have a short window of opportunity, and we must take advantage of it.
¿Qué piensas de Julio César Chávez, que dice que prefiere que se retire su hijo por no ser disciplinado en el boxeo?
No, yo creo que entiendo su frustración. Obviamente el papá quiere lo mejor para su hijo. Él está viendo, pues, la indisciplina que tiene su hijo, y está quizás frustrado. Pero yo creo que es una fase, ¿no?, en la vida de Julio César Chávez Jr. Yo creo que él tiene el talento para llegar muy lejos, para ser gran campeón y todavía hay tiempo.
Como promotor, ¿qué consejo le darías?
Yo creo que tiene que enfocarse en su entrenamiento, olvidarse de lo demás, de los amigos, de lo demás, de todo. Enfocarse en el entrenamiento y enfocarse en el periodo tan corto que tenemos como atletas, tomar ventaja y pues y entrenar fuerte, echarle muchas ganas.
Amir Khan thinks his fans are going to outdo the Mexican fans on Fight Night. Oscar, what do you think about that one?
Man, I mean, we have our hands full, let me tell you, because when we were in Europe, I mean, they came out, I mean, like there was no tomorrow. I mean, they came out, and the legions of fans that he has in Europe were incredible. And I'm sure a lot of UK fans are going to cross the pond here and support Amir Khan. So it's going to be very interesting because Cinco de Mayo weekend, I mean, it's going to be one of those events where you just don't want to miss.
Oscar, you going to Texas Stadium with Jerry Jones. Was that kind of like jumping the gun, looking forward to Triple G and Canelo as opposed to Amir Khan?
No, not at all. And we never even discussed Triple G and Canelo. We discussed other.
Because what other fight can fill that stadium up?
Well, we talked about having Canelo in Dallas, but we also talked about his new training facilities. That he's building in Frisco, Texas. He's building a stadium that's going to hold about 12,000 people. So I was talking to him about maybe taking some HBO fights down there and possibly taking the likes of Vargas versus Mira, part 2, you know. So fights like that. So, you know, I told him, look, we can discuss the bigger picture come May 8th because Canelo has a huge fight coming up and a dangerous fight coming up May 7th.
When Julio Cesar Chavez opened the MGM Grand, much to people's surprise, Frankie Randall ruined those plans of
and whoever thought
a victory on Cinco de Mayo on that.
And whoever thought, I mean, Frankie Randall, the surgeon, whoever thought he would beat Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, you never know in boxing, and that's the beauty about the sport. You know, Frankie Randall had a record that, I mean, couldn't even kill a fly. I mean, he didn't have no power whatsoever, and he ended up dropping and beating Julio Cesar Chavez.
What was your reaction to that?
You were shocked. I mean, it's just like everybody else. You're shocked. So I mean, I think it was that fight that solidified my thinking that in boxing there is no underdog. In boxing, everybody has a chance.
Oscar, what can you tell us about the undercard for Canelo Khan?
Yeah, we're working on some really good fights. I believe we're close to nailing down the co-feature, which can be Matisse versus Herrera, which is a great fight. It's a sink or swim fight for both guys. You know, we have King Kong fighting this Saturday. If he gets past Thompson on HBO, then we can possibly talk about putting him on the card. One of the most avoided heavyweights in the sport today. So he's always exciting to watch, and so we're working on a few things. We have a few tricks up our sleeve.
Oscar, sabemos que tú y Canelo son muy buenos amigos de Kate. ¿La van a invitar para esta pelea a Kate?
No, estamos obviamente estamos tenemos que ver quién vamos a invitar y a quién no vamos a invitar y porque todo el mundo quiere boletos.
Gratis.
Imagínate.
You fought a fighter who leaped up divisions. What is your thoughts on this controversy that Khan is going up in weight to fight Canelo?
Go ahead again. I'm sorry.
You fought Pacquiao, who jumped up in weight in division. So, what is your thoughts on this controversy between Canelo and Cotto? I mean, Canelo and Khan.
Yeah, no. I mean, it shouldn't be a controversy. I mean, look, it's no controversy. I mean, whenever somebody tells me about a lighter guy going up in weight, I instantly think about Pacquiao and retiring me after the 9th round. I mean, I think about Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and the list goes on and on. I mean, these smaller guys coming up in weight are just guys who are courageous and who believe in themselves and who want to take the risk, and that's what makes them great.
But can you see
Canelo has improved a lot drastically in the last 2 years, and he's facing a very fast fighter with a high boxing IQ. How can Khan complicate things for Canelo?
Footwork, speed, punches and bunches, in and out. If you take a look at Miguel Cotto, he didn't throw combinations and keep Canelo busy. Khan can keep Canelo busy with throwing punches and bunches and moving side to side. Canelo has to be prepared. He has to do his homework. I mean, this is not a walk in the park.
So if Donald Trump's watching, what do you tell him, Oscar?
I have a ringside ticket for him, front
Really?
and center.
The event's gonna sell out.
And thank you for making the fight.
Oscar, what's your opinion?
Thank you
on,
for inspiring me to make the fight.
Oscar, what's your opinion on Joseph Diaz being on the undercard of the Ward fight, and how did you get that to happen?
Yeah, no, I mean this was a great opportunity for Jojo. It's a great fight. HBO, gave us.
I think this.
What better fighter than Jojo? I mean, he deserves the opportunity. He deserves the chance. He deserves to be on that big stage. So it's a perfect moment for Jojo.